stop trying to be all these other people. Like, just if your niche is you, like what makes you unique is you. All you have to do is turn the camera on and just be yourself.
Right.
Because like I think we sometimes spend all this time like, okay, we have to have the vlog style music, and we've got to have the right text, and we've got to like a Casey Neistat style video is nothing like a Gary Vee style video.
Right.
Like they're all very different, but yet we copy them because we're like, oh, that's working.
Right.
But it's working for them.
Yeah.
Because they're them. A lot of things to discuss. A crazy couple. I don't know when the last time we did this was, but it had to have been at least a month.
Yeah.
So
a few weeks.
A lot of interesting updates. Not a whole lot app-wise. Just the app's gotten much more stable. So as far as like videos and just little frustrating glitches have for the most part been resolved. So that's happening right now. We've got a great new contract team that's working with us, and that's proven to be very cost effective as well. It's really like, if I were to put it in like fractions of what it costs if we were to hire people, it's basically about a fifth of the cost. So it's like amazingly inexpensive, and the work is fantastic.
Yeah.
So doing that, the app is very stable. We're now slowly starting to introduce new features and things like that. One of the big things that we had to do was separate a test environment, which this should have been done from the beginning, but it wasn't. But it's basically where we can test things and make changes in our own version of the app that the general public does not see.
Right.
So like right now, it's ridiculous. We have to like create test accounts and test users with like crazy keywords and things so people don't see them.
I see.
That's why we use your name as one of those. Now it's a completely separate environment. It's like we have an environment to where we can't actually see live accounts, and live accounts can't see us.
Right.
So that way, anything that we do, we work at all the kinks over there before we actually push the update to everybody.
Yeah.
So that's been very positive. That's happened. The other thing is salespeople. So that's a huge update. I am beside myself excited for
this is your jam right here.
This
sales.
is my jam.
Yeah.
And I'm
Space Jam.
This is my Space Jam. And I'm excited because this is a huge deal for all of us. It's a huge deal for everybody. Everything that you guys have worked on, all of the work that you put in, all of the content that you create, the app UI, the app functionality, all the social content, all of this now is being pushed out there to people for 12 hours a day, every day, by multiple individuals. Like, isn't that exciting to you? Like, all of the work that you guys are doing is being presented and given to people in high places all day long, over and over and over and over again. The HiredUp name, the HiredUp content. Do you realize that in our sales pitch, it's actually written into the pitch that the welcome video is presented?
Nice.
It's there. So literally in every single sales meeting, your video gets presented. In every single first, like if somebody does a walk-in of somewhere, there's a couple pieces of wording that happen, like a couple intro words that are just real quick. And then what they do is they pull out the app and they literally show that welcome video, and they show the prospect that 30-second video right there.
Yeah. That's awesome.
So that's out there. That's in the hand. Like, that's going to be shown to tons of people. Do you realize how unique it is that a company like us has a social presence that's actually good? It doesn't happen. Yeah. Or a social presence that's actually talking about beneficial stuff other than just the app.
Right.
Like, we're not out there just talking about how great we are and pontificating about how cool the app is and use this. Like, you're providing real value out there. Like, it's funny, it's catchy, it's interesting. There's podcasts, there's episodes, there's hiring talk, there's TikToks, there's reels that are hilarious. There's Tip Tuesday, there's Meditation Monday. There's like this wealth of content that now is being sold to people out there all day long. And right now, starting with 2 people, we're going to add 2 new salespeople every single month.
Wow.
So in 6 months, we're going to have 12 salespeople just in Dallas. Think about that. 12 times 12, 144 hours a day of cumulative time every day. Well, I guess 5 days a week.
Yeah.
That are taking everything that you guys do out there into the public, to people.
And just amplifying it.
Amplifying it, yes. And think about what that's going to do for you guys. It's like that steps everything up, because now we're getting feedback. Salespeople are going to come out. It's like they're in the battlefield. Like, they come off the field and they come back and go, hey, maybe do some content about this, because this is a big pain point. You can take a piece of feedback and you can spin up 4 new reels or a couple new podcasts that are catering value to that exact need. It's just this, it's awesome. It's this cool relationship. It's good energy. It's just valuable. It's revenue. It's money in the door. It's exciting. It's like, this is the final.
Boots on the ground. It's happening.
Boots on the ground. It's happening. This is the final rounded edge of our company that we just haven't been able to get yet because of the app. And now we're there, and we found, I'm not kidding you, the best 2 salespeople that are out there. I mean, they're incredible. They're fantastic. 2 amazing women that are just badasses that are going to fit in perfectly here. I mean, we are not an organization of beta people.
Right.
Like, we're not an organization of people that are backseat drivers, that are socially impaired. We're not an organization of individuals that just are sitting on the sidelines. Like, this is a group of people that are fully invested in what they're doing, that are excited to be doing what they're doing, and that have the ability to have enormous freedom in what they're doing. Huge freedom.
Yeah.
And I just think that it's the coolest group of people ever. And we continue to build it every single day. It gets better and better. And you guys are in this at the ground level. Like, you're going to be so rich, and you're going to be so successful, and you're going to have so many people that work for you and work with you. And like, think about like a year from now. Think about 4 years from now.
I know.
Like, I just picture you guys each having like these huge teams, and you're organizing these massive media spend. I mean, what happens when we say, okay, Brianna, this year your media budget is, $35 million.
Yeah.
I mean, that's going to happen. That's going to happen. Well, what happens when we give you like 30 people that are all working on content all day long, and they're working on videos, and they're working on UI, and they're working on app update? I mean, we're just going to such cool places, and so many people don't have the opportunity to be on the ground floor of something like this, because companies like this just don't come along every day.
Yeah.
And even if they do, they're not doing all of the different things that we're doing. So anyways, I say all this because I'm extremely proud of you guys. I'm like so grateful that you guys took this leap. I'm so grateful. I'm grateful that you're here. I'm grateful that you decided to do this with me and do this with us. And I'm just excited. I'm excited to see where this goes over the next couple of years. And I'm doing everything I can to make sure that this works for you guys.
Well, thank you. I'm excited too.
Yeah. There's a lot that you touched on there. I mean, one of the things, and we've talked about it before, it's kind of Gary V's, one of his top things that he talks about, but it's like, if you want to be on the forefront, no matter what it is, what kind of company you have, you need to be a media company. Mm-hmm. And we've sort of taken that approach, and it's paid off just in the way that we have branded ourselves and the way that we look different, and really set ourselves apart. So that's kudos to you from the very beginning,
Right.
saying, okay, we're a media company that happens to sell an app. What does that look like?
Yeah.
Right.
And it makes us look a lot different.
Yeah.
And as far as, and from the beginning, I knew that a lot of this content would be seen by decision makers at big companies. And so like whenever I do make content, I always try to not put myself in a bubble. Like,
Yeah.
okay, here's what I would like, or here's what maybe our Instagram audience would like, but what would connect with, maybe older generations, what would connect with these different demographics, and kind of strategically think in that way. So I'm glad that at least so far we've gotten good feedback on that, and I'm sure there'll be more feedback to come and constructive criticism. And I look forward to I really look forward. My biggest what excites me the most is just getting that feedback from outside people.
Yeah.
Because that's what will help me gauge how well I'm doing, what I need to do more, what I need to do better. And so that's really, really exciting for me. And then, as you touched on the app a bit. I mean, just for everyone listening here, like Evan said, we've basically for the past few weeks been focusing on the back end a lot more, just to make sure our foundation of the app is very strong, so that all these new updates that we do have coming forth in the coming weeks is just going to make everything seamless and really flow very well. So I'm really excited to get to the point where we actually see the new UI design in the app.
Me too.
And how it looks and functions. And the app is working great so far. And like you said, we have fixed a lot of these bugs, and a lot of these bugs is partly because I think of the not having that separate environment. So I think the separate, so having the testing environment will definitely help a lot in that regard. So
Yeah.
And keep this hold on 1 second, sorry.
It's okay.
But keep this in mind, that everything that we do can often, and this is just in life, this isn't just in our company, but this is everything. Like, the immediate tasks can become very repetitive. Like, I kind of realized a couple of weeks ago how easy it is to just slip into autopilot, and you can and I know you love this, like, things can become very mundane. Like, we can look up and we don't even realize like how we got somewhere.
Right.
So don't forget where we're going here. Like, don't forget the big picture here. The big picture here is to take over. The big picture here is to give people fairness. Like, it's a noble quest. Like, giving people fairness and the ability to really show who they are, and companies to not have to worry anymore about being the highest bidder on an Indeed, or individuals worrying that just because they're not the best at crafting a resume, they're going to get tossed out. Like, it's a big picture. The big picture is create a massive company that runs every single day to create a simple, transparent, honest environment and experience for our users.
Yeah.
So keep that in mind. Things can become monotonous, and they can become repetitive and very small. But the aperture, if you open it up, is big. Like, the scope is big. Where we're trying to go is enormous.
I mean, it's never been done before, so we're paving the path here.
Yep. I'm sorry, what were you going to say? Carry on.
Oh, I was just going to say, I'm most excited for just people out there spreading the name of HiredUp. Like, just increasing our brand awareness, getting our name out there, getting more people. Because I would love to get to a point, and it will come very soon, where you're talking to someone about it, and they're like, oh, yeah, I've heard of HiredUp. A friend told me about it.
Yep.
Or, I saw your ad, or I saw you on Instagram, you know?
I get that a lot already.
I do too.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
Josh,
awesome.
you have a podcast or something? I've been like,
Oh, yeah,
it's
that's right.
it's
Your friend was
for
saying
it's
that.
for
Yeah.
Yeah.
The guy
for
that
HiredUp.
installed our new security system was like, he saw the sign on the door. He's like, "Oh, HiredUp, I know you guys." He goes, "Yeah, my wife's some kind of staffing or something." He was like, "Yeah, I've heard of y'all's app."
What? That's so cool.
That's happened a lot of times.
Yeah.
That's
to me.
awesome.
yeah.
People could just be being nice, but who knows?
Right.
But
Hopefully being honest.
like you said, it's important to we do get caught up in that monotony sometimes, and I know for me, it usually that bulb goes off usually as I'm brushing my teeth before bed,
Yeah.
and I'm
That's
like
funny.
staring at myself in the mirror, and I'm like, how many times have I done this exact nightly routine? You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
And so it's important just to be kind of self-aware of that, and then all I have to do is change up something just a little bit,
Yep.
True.
and that really helps. And in general, with a company or within your own sort of career life trajectory, you're going to be going up, but there are going to be times when it's kind of a roller coaster and it'll lull back down. But you can't mistake that for you're going all the way back to where you came from. It's like
Right.
Yeah.
it's the trajectory is not usually a straight line. It's usually like line up a little bit down, line up higher a little bit down.
My trainer talks about this all the time, about just like your fitness goals and what to expect.
Yeah.
Success never is a straight line.
Yeah.
Whether it's fitness or business or personal.
Yeah.
Right.
It's true.
Yeah.
It's very true. So talk about what's going on in social right now. Like what are your big things you're focusing on right now? What's exciting you in social media? What's happening?
Well, right now there's a big push for value-driven content. So we're really starting to position ourselves as a thought leader in the industry, which we're, getting very close to, especially with, people recognizing our name and recognizing our brand. But really just want to serve as a place for people to come to for information on hiring, on the industry. Like you said, we have Mindful Monday, we have Tip Tuesday, and really just trying to push a lot of value out there for people.
Yep.
So whether that's on TikTok or Instagram, LinkedIn has been killing it lately.
Yeah.
It's been doing really well.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's kind of the platform of choice right now for you?
LinkedIn and Instagram. But those are also the two places where we have the most growth.
Yeah.
We have the most engagement. So, they're a little bit more fun
Yeah.
accounts to work on, I guess.
I'm curious about this. How do you, so anybody that's listening, if you haven't looked at our social, go look at it and
Yes.
go to
Go
Reels.
follow us.
Yeah, go follow us and then go to Reels and look at the Mrs. Doubtfire one.
Oh my God.
It's my favorite reel that you've made.
I was telling Jen, because she was saying that she saw our reels, and I was...
Does she go by Jen?
I don't know if it's Jen or Jennifer. My stepmom is Jennifer, and everyone calls
Okay.
her Jen, so
I need to ask her that because
Yeah.
everything she puts is Jennifer,
Oh, is it?
but
I'm just going to
That's-
call her Yennefer.
Jennifer.
That's
Call her
funny.
JJ.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. But I was telling her, all in the name of content, these reels.
Yeah.
Really,
How do you find those ideas? Like, how the heck do you find a Mrs. Doubtfire audio and then come up with that?
search through reels and find the audio. And then a lot of times you can see who all used that audio and then look at the type of post that they did.
Interesting.
And then
Okay.
just kind of come up with something.
That's so funny.
Yeah. Hayden was laughing at them the other day too.
Does he get a kick out of that?
Yes,
That like
he
you're all
does.
over the page making
Yeah.
these hilarious
Yeah,
videos?
he does. He cracks up at them. Yeah. But it's been fun. It's been fun.
Yeah, I think in general, as far as social media too, I think it's becoming more about really short form video. I think that's sort of the name of the game. Obviously, even on YouTube as well, more short form content is becoming the content of choice. And so, as we know, Instagram officially branded themselves as a video app now instead of a
Right.
photo app. So they're really pushing Reels. TikTok is we're trying to get a larger following on TikTok.
Yep.
And really, like I said, utilizing Instagram Reels and short form video. I think that is the future, and that's where everything's headed.
Yeah. And two, I think Reels, a lot of people can see themselves in a Reel style form of content. Reels, I feel like you can speak directly to someone. So it's almost kind of like a one-on-one conversation versus, something that is general and just kind of not very specific, but really honing in to your target audience.
Yeah.
Which I think we're getting closer and closer every day.
Yeah.
On Instagram and LinkedIn.
I think so too.
So.
The name of the game is frequency and consistency.
Yeah.
That goes for growing any social platform. Like I have, my stepsister has her own salon now.
Yeah.
And she really doesn't know much about, she's really not active on social media for it. And I'm like, well, especially a visual medium that you're in, which is hair, you have got to have a very strategic, very strong social media presence for something like that.
Yeah.
And so I was telling her all these different things. I'm like, even if you don't have any clients one day or for a period of time during the day, you should be making reels, you should be making how-tos, just
product
like
reviews.
Product
maybe.
reviews.
Oh
I
my
mean,
gosh.
there's so many things that you can be doing. And that's all that goes back into your business. You're not just lollygagging around, and
Right.
It's all strategic. And I told her about ads and everything. Her salon's in Allen, right? And I'm like, you can get people from downtown to come. You don't have to rely on just like the Allen people.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. It's
If your content is strong enough, people will travel.
People will
that
drive
extra mile.
hours
Yeah.
to go somewhere.
Yeah, and she has a great person, and that's what I was telling her too. She has a very she's a very kind of feisty personality, and I'm like, this is great. This is great for social media. Just be yourself.
Yeah.
That's really
absolutely
what it comes down to. Really embody yourself. A lot of people are afraid to be themselves because they don't know how other people react to
Right.
them.
Lean
But
into your personality.
the more you lean in, it's a catch-22
Yeah.
because if you try to please everyone by trying to be someone that you're not going to please
Right.
anybody
Yeah.
because everyone can see through that. So
Yeah.
be real, be consistent, and post, at least once a day at the very least.
Yeah. Where I used to work off of 121, like near Nebraska Furniture Mart,
Yeah.
there is a dentist office right next to my office. And I mean, to me, it was kind of like out in the middle of nowhere. I mean, it's pretty far from Dallas. And it is such a popular dentist office that
Wow.
people from Dallas will travel to. It's about like 45 minutes away just because they have such a strong presence on social.
Wow.
Yeah. They've partnered with a few like influencers and things like that.
yeah.
So,
There's a lot of dentists in Scottsdale that will do that. And they'll get a big shot influencer in there and do
Yeah.
free teeth whitening. And
yeah,
like
exactly.
do that kind of stuff. And it really makes a difference.
Yeah. So
It's-
people will now travel 45 minutes to this dentist office
I believe it.
just to go because of their social presence.
Yep.
It's what we've been talking about. I mean, no matter who you are, what business you're in, you got to have a strong social presence. People would think, oh, a dentist's office, well, that's kind of boring. What am I supposed to make content about?
Yep.
Right.
Well, clearly you can make content out of anything.
Yeah.
Very true.
I saw a very, very good, I think I sent it to y'all, a very good Gary Vee clip the other day. I had to tone back on him for a while, but
Yeah.
I saw this one clip that was just so good. And he was talking about how he was talking to this kid. And the kid was like, I'm just trying to figure out what to talk about. I don't know. I have all these different interests. I don't know what to talk about. And he goes, okay, the reason that I'm successful on social is because I'm me. No one else is like me. It's not the style of content. It's just me. Like, my life is different. I go to garage sales. I like wine. I run a media company. I do a lot of social media stuff. Like, stop trying to be all these other people. Like, just if your niche is you, like what makes you unique is you. All you have to do is turn the camera on and just be yourself,
right?
And you're good. And that hit, you know how you have those things to where you've been trying to like figure something out for a long time, and then all of a sudden it's again right in front of you, and you go, oh, that makes perfect sense.
Right.
That made perfect sense to me.
Yeah.
Because like I think we sometimes spend all this time like, okay, we have to have the vlog style music, and we've got to have the right text, and we've got to and it's
or
like
all the equipment, or the tools, or whatever.
Sure. And it's like, okay, well, why are we doing that? It's because that's kind of the standard of the biggest people that we know. Well, I don't know any of them that are the same as each other. Like a Casey Neistat style video is nothing like a Gary Vee style video.
Right.
Like they're all very different, but yet we copy them because we're like, oh, that's working.
Right.
But it's working for them.
Yeah.
Because they're them.
Exactly.
Like they are them. They are not us.
Yeah.
We are not them.
Yeah.
So it just, it's like you have to, but that's a mental block for me too. Like, and for most people, it's like, okay, well, what am I actually going to do? Like for me right now, a big thing is trying to figure out TikTok. Cause like LinkedIn, I've got that down. I can do Instagram, but the TikTok thing I struggle with.
Yeah.
Cause like, I know, we talked about like the animals thing. Like I can do that, but like, what am I going to talk about? Because TikTok does have a very sort of, it's kind of in between some guidelines.
Right.
Right? Like there's kind of a strategy there. And it, like even people that are well known on it, they all have very similar type of content too. So I'm trying to figure out how to kind of put stuff in there. But again, it's me trying to figure that out instead of just making stuff.
Right.
Because what happens is that sometimes I'll go, hey, here's how to do blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, what am I doing? Like, that's so inauthentic. That's not me.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not a salesy, hey, I'm going to give you 5 tips on how to make a great video resume. Like, I'm just, that's not who I am.
Well, sometimes it just takes trial and error, too, to kind of figure out, like, what is you, or what resonates with you, or what do you enjoy talking about. We were just talking about this earlier. Sometimes it just takes one foot in front of the other, and just getting out there. And
well, because I get people that keep saying, "Why don't you have a YouTube channel, man?" Like I see your podcast clips a lot. Like, why aren't you doing? And I'm like, I've tried to dabble in YouTube, and then I stop, and then I try to dabble in it, and then I stop, because I keep wanting to change exactly what my niche is.
Thing is, yeah.
Right. And so, and I was telling her, at the end of the day, it's like, you just, to figure out what your sort of style is, you just have to do it. That the only way to figure it out is by just doing stuff and trying stuff.
Yep.
You're not gonna get anywhere by pontificating.
Yes.
All day long and watching what other people are doing.
Right.
100%. I think, okay, so I have an idea. Okay, we've talked about this before, but I think we're going to do it now. We're mandating this. But 2 things. I think that, hold on. What was I going to talk about?
Oh, I hate when that happens.
You were going to do a contest for content?
Well, but then you were saying pontificate. Shoot.
Actually doing it.
It was so good.
Pontificating on what other people are doing and what you should be doing. I
don't know.
Instead of just doing it.
I hate
But
when
I
that
guess
happens.
I guess where I was going was, I think that, like, for me, like you just said, Josh, I will get caught up in, it has to be a certain way, or I need to kind of pick a lane. But like when I'm so some of my most interesting, so one of my closest friends, Tanner, Tanner and I talk probably about 3 days a week on the phone. And he'll call me around 6:45 or 7 in the morning on his way into work. He works at the Crescent.
Yeah.
And we'll talk. Sometimes it'll be for 20 minutes, and then sometimes it'll be for an hour and 45 minutes. It just depends on what both of us are doing. Some of my favorite conversations come out of that. And the reason why is because they're about a lot of different things.
Yeah.
We'll talk about real estate. We'll talk about his job in capital markets, investing. We'll talk about flying. We'll talk about relationships, and he's newly married and I'm about to be married. We'll talk about starting company. We talk about like all of these things.
Right.
And there's such a mental block of when I'm producing content, it has to be about specific things.
Right.
I know what I was going to say. I think that one of the best things that you can do to become more authentic in your content is to stop watching social media. Like, really dial back your consumption of YouTube and of Instagram and TikTok and all those things. Because now it's kind of a catch-22 because like you have to watch that kind of stuff because you got to know what's out there.
Right.
But I think what happens is the more that you look at that stuff, your stuff, it's kind of like the friends that you hang out with, you start to become like them.
Right.
You're influenced by all of those, the music, you're influenced by the openings, you're influenced by the style, the way that they piece together a vlog video or a TikTok. And so I know for me sometimes that like I have to kind of catch myself and go, okay, no more consuming all of this content because I start to get influenced by it. Like I start to make my stuff look like that stuff.
Right.
And that's not interesting. But the contest, I think, should be each of us has to post just once a day on all the major platforms for 2 weeks. So,
Okay.
or a week. I don't know. Feel free to be involved. I'm going to do it. But because I want to do Instagram, LinkedIn, TikTok, Twitter, at least once a day, every day.
Yeah.
I can't go on Twitter.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
I've
Twitter is a war
I've
zone.
literally on all my computers I put a parental block on it.
Oh my gosh.
So I don't even want to.
Don't even want to venture
Yeah.
dip a toe in.
But you know, I think it would be good for us to, you know, whether it's all of them or whether we pick a platform to post once a day.
Yeah.
And here's what I think too. So like for me, like using the resources to make it easy for you. I know very well that the audio quality of what we're doing right now is nowhere near the audio quality of when I have my headphones in and I'm out walking and there's cars driving by. But you know what? That's easy for me.
Yeah.
That makes sense. I know that my head is thinking about quality things at that time, and that's when I want to produce that content. Some people want to sit here and talk into the camera. That's not me. So it's like, how can you also set up these things in your life to where you're able to produce content much more easily?
Oh.
I think the other thing too is like, why do you actually want to do it? Like, okay, everybody wants to produce content. Well, why?
Yeah.
Like, what are you actually trying to do? Like, we know for HiredUp, it's to drive revenue. It's to create brand awareness. It's so that people know us. But like as an individual, like why do you actually want to tell that story? Why do you want to be on social media? Why do you want to produce content? I think that's kind of where you start.
Well, I think it's innately part of the human condition we all tell stories. That's kind of how we communicate with each other. And I think I think if everyone took the approach on social media that we're all trying to help each other, and each of us has our own unique journey that we've gone through, our own unique challenges, and have gotten out of them, or have learned new things, taken the time to learn new things that we're interested in. The whole point of that really is to share that and to help other people at the end of the day. It's like, how fulfilled are you going to be? Oh yeah, I know all the secrets to everything. I'm just going to keep it to myself.
Right.
Like, that's not really fulfilling.
Yeah.
You know, so you get that fulfillment out of knowing that even in a very small way, maybe you never even notice it, but someone heard something you said and maybe they've heard it 1,000 times before, but for whatever reason, the way that you said it, the way that you articulated it, that's when it really resonated with them.
Like the Gary Vee video
like the Gary Vee video
talking about it.
Exactly.
Like, you can hear it a million times, but sometimes just the time that you hear from someone else is like a light bulb moment. You're like, I get it now. That makes sense. That resonates with me.
And it doesn't have to be content that's like talking to someone and like just sharing it in that way. Like it could just be content of you living your life.
Well, if you think about it,
and that can still inspire people.
Exactly. Like the content doesn't have to be fancy. There's people out there who film themselves every single day in their living room with, you know, their hoarder stash behind them. Some people's living rooms are crazy, and they will put it all over their social media.
Some people's houses are
I know.
sketchy.
They do not clean. But anyway, they post videos in their house all the time. And because they're authentic and they're consistent and they're just being them.
Yep. It catches on.
Yeah, exactly.
I just had an idea right now of, okay, I'm doing all of that. Like I'll record podcasts while I'm walking. Why can't I take that, like a couple of those as a couple thoughts, make a video, and that becomes my TikTok account?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Exactly. And have y'all seen the guy that's gone viral on all of social media, and basically like someone's doing a task and they're making it way harder than it needs to be, and then he recreates it and goes like that?
No.
I've never heard
Oh
of
my
this or
gosh.
seen it,
I
no.
have. Once you guys see this guy, you'll know exactly who I'm talking about.
I don't think
But
so.
basically he's gone viral all over social media just for like something as simple as that. But like he's just
he's just curating things.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. So it doesn't have to be hard, but I think we make it hard.
We
And
make it so hard.
I do this all the time. I overthink everything. I was even telling Josh the other day that I kind of like stepped back from talking about like beauty or skincare, which I absolutely love, because I'm like, who am I to talk to these people? I'm not certified. I'm not an esthetician or anything like that.
Yeah.
But when you think about it, I'm just sharing my experiences and the research that I've done and the in-depth, you know, kind of rabbit hole stuff that I have found. So it's not like I'm, you know, talking from a high horse or anything, saying you need to do this. But I still get in my head, you know, of not talking about the stuff that I like or producing content, just because, you know, we get in our own way.
And you're the content that really matters, actually, because all of these brands, you know, they get influencers they're paying thousands of dollars to. They get people to demo the product. They get people working in the stores or on the websites doing videos. It's all people that are in their sphere.
Right.
You're not in that sphere.
Right.
You're a proper consumer of the product. Yeah. So that's real. Like, think about MKBHD. Or all these people that do product. He's like the biggest tech product review guy on YouTube. And
Brownlee?
Marquez. He's enormous because all he did was he started when he was like a little skinny kid.
Yeah.
Like literally turned his webcam on. It looked like it was filled on a potato.
Oh my God.
Like such bad quality. And he just starts talking about like new phones.
Yeah.
You know, but like that's the beauty of that, is that he was the actual consumer.
Mm-hmm.
Like he was the one that was he was giving open and honest. Like no one trusts, if I'm buying this Yeti cup, I'm not going to listen to Yeti. I'm going to go on Amazon and I'm going to see what people actually think of it.
Exactly.
Or no one's going to listen to what a restaurant says about themselves. They're going to go to Yelp and see what's actually happening. Yeah, so like that kind of content is actually good because you're giving the real stuff.
Right.
But you're right. We all get caught up in our own heads about making it so complex.
You know, at the end of the day, there's some things that your mind can't help you with.
Yeah.
You know, if you listen to your logical mind, none of us would be here today.
Yeah.
if you're, because logically it's like, oh, this person has this problem, they can't. The logic doesn't say, oh, let me just quit this thing that I'm doing and start an app company and do it ourselves. Like, that doesn't logically compute in the normal world.
It doesn't make sense.
That's when you need, you sort of need to listen to what your intuition's saying.
Right.
Yep.
And, listen to the other things besides your head.
100%.
Okay. This is the guy that I
Is
was
this
talking
it?
about. Have you not seen him?
I've never seen him.
What? How have you guys not seen him? Like,
His face is hilarious.
yes, his videos are hilarious too, and they're so simple. I'll have to show you.
Never seen this.
Oh my gosh.
Never seen
you
this.
guys.
We don't consume as much content as
I
you do.
guess not.
Well, that's what makes you great at your.
That's why you're good at your job,
exactly.
is because you do
Yeah.
consume good content.
Yeah. But, like for me, and I've said it before, like every major decision I've made in my life, like really like life-changing decisions, I never listened to my head. And everyone on the outside was saying, this is a bad idea, or I don't understand why you're doing this, or this doesn't make sense logically. But for whatever reason, I'm like, I have to do this.
Yeah.
I have to move to LA without a job. I have to move to Texas, after I got exactly what I asked for when I was in Boston. I have to go to this college that no one else is going to. All these different things. It's just like, if I listened to my head, I would not be in the same place right now.
Right. It's kind of like the conversation that we had about regret too, of just not regretting anything, because every little thing has led you to where you are right now.
Mm-hmm.
Good or bad, you always learn,
Yeah.
afterwards, from past experiences and what have you. But,
And just going back to what we're doing at HiredUp, I mean, like you said, no one's ever done this before. So you can't really listen to your head, because
Right.
none of this makes logical sense.
Right. It's all, we're making it all up.
Yeah.
Like we're coming up with it. We are writing the book on this type of thing. Like we're now the rubric for how to do this.
Yeah.
Right.
And you're right, Josh. No one has done it before. Similar things, but nothing just like this.
Right.
And I think that's honestly the way that people get so caught up in the world of modeling and find someone who's done the thing that you want before and do it, like them. And I think that a lot of that is very important. I think you can skip a lot of steps that way. But sometimes I think that people have way too many mentors. I think that they're looking at too many people for answers. I think they're relying on too many people's input to make their own decisions. And sometimes you just have to step away from it and just go do what you believe is correct.
Right.
Because even if you do something that makes sense to a board of very smart individuals in your life, in 10 years from now, are you going, even if that decision worked out, are you going to regret making that decision? And the feeling of, I put this on my Instagram the other day, something like the feeling of risk is much less scary than the feeling of regret.
Yeah.
I never want to live with that.
Yeah.
So make the content,
Exactly.
put it out there, talk about what you want to talk about, turn the camera on, record, film the thing. Don't worry about how it's going to look to other people. If you want to talk about it, talk about it. Have you seen the movie The Circle?
Yes.
It was not a well-made movie,
Yeah.
but it
Wasn't
was not a good movie. But have you seen it?
No, I know what you're talking about, though.
Oh, okay.
But the concept of it was really
Concept was
interesting,
good. Concept was very good. And there was a part in it to where she had one of the little eyeball cameras attached to her, and then all over her house and her car and all of her life. And she went live. She was the first person to go fully live. And so everything in her life was filmed all the time.
Yeah.
And millions of people watched it. And I think that's a cool concept because I think so many times, how many times have you said to yourself, or you've heard someone say, yeah, but I don't do that much stuff that's interesting. Like I'm not going surfing to film content surfing. I'm not doing this. I'm not doing that. Like the concept in that movie was correct because we forget how interesting our own lives are.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, every single day that we have has a story. It's interesting. It has substance. It's unique. And if it's captured in a correct way, it can be very intriguing and very interesting.
Very
I
true.
still don't want 1,000 cameras around.
Well, I don't either. I don't want that either.
I think there's a good
Always
balance.
watching.
Ooh.
But also, we've talked about this before, like, you really don't know. You have this idea of yourself, but everyone else has a different perspective of you.
Yep.
And, it's kind of like the interview question, like, that we've talked about before, which is what are 3 words that your friends or family,
right.
how would they describe you?
Yeah.
And we talked about it and we're like, this is not a great question to ask this person because this person doesn't know what their friends and family would actually say about them. They have an idea of what they think those people would say about them, but
Or what they would want them to say.
right, exactly. But your parents see you in a completely different way than you see yourself. Your friends see, so you don't know. If you say, "Oh, I'm boring" or "I'm not that interesting," you don't know how your content will affect other people. You just don't.
Right.
So put it out there.
Yeah.
And just let it be.
Just do it.
Yeah.
Just do it. Just post it.
Yeah.
Just post it.
Yeah.
It was a
And-
huge hurdle for me
yeah.
to get. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
For me to get over actually posting Instagram stories. I didn't
Really?
use Instagram stories for like over a year of when they came out.
Oh, wow.
Never posted one. And then I think the first time I ever posted it was a screenshot of like a song or something. But it took me a really long time to actually go, okay, I'm going to talk into this thing
Right.
and post it.
Yeah.
I still think one of your most interesting, like I actually look forward every day to opening Instagram and seeing you talking about your fast the last time you did it.
You're not the first person that said that. And I was,
It was fantastic.
I was debating on doing it this time. And I woke up Monday morning and I was like, man, I just don't feel like it.
Yeah.
But I might do, like, I was wanting to do maybe just like 1 or 2 videos on what it is that I'm consuming during this whole fast.
I was just
Yeah.
gonna
And
mention.
just literally show the product. Here's what it does. Here, this is what I'm taking.
Yeah.
Like, even if someone never does the fast, like they would find that probably interesting.
Yeah.
Um,
You could even make a reel of what you drink in a day
Yeah.
when you're fasting.
Yeah, exactly.
And since it's not too much, it won't be a long
Yeah.
reel.
Well, it actually, I was thinking about all the stuff that I'm actually drinking throughout the day. So I get up, I have my electric water, and that's Himalayan salt.
Yeah. Right.
Zap
lemon.
yourself out of bed.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Himalayan salt, lemon, and apple cider vinegar. So that wakes up your body.
Mm-hmm.
And then more water, just regular water, and then my green juice / celery juice.
Yeah.
And then like throughout the day, I have my electrolytes, super important, especially when you're on a fast. Electrolytes, salt, minerals, that'll keep you going. And then I have my kombucha, and then I have my bone broth.
Nice.
So, and then I have some coconut water sometimes too. That's also really hydrating.
No caffeine.
No caffeine. Yeah.
Yeesh.
Yeah, it's kind of part of. Well, so at this particular fast, I kind of did like, okay, I'm gonna, because I like experimenting, right?
Sure.
So okay, let's make this one unique. So I'm gonna do no caffeine in the morning, and I'm also going to do like a bit of a dopamine detox as well.
I was wondering if you're doing that.
Yeah. So not really looking at my phone. We take our phone with
That's
us
so
everywhere.
hard.
So leaving my phone. not really going on YouTube or anything. Just like if I have a moment alone or something, I'll pick up a book and start reading.
That's great.
Just to kind of, even
Reset.
that a little break, like a day or two or something, kind of just reset those receptors.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's beneficial.
I feel like the last
like
time, it wasn't even on purpose. I lost my phone at a concert, and I didn't have a new phone for like the next 3 or 4 days.
Wow.
And that in and of itself, at first, like you're in panic mode. I don't have a phone. What am I going to do? Who am I going to call? And then after like day 2 or 3, you're kind of like, this is nice.
Yeah.
Like it's a little relieving not to have
Be
so many
tethered to
texts
this.
or calls or, yeah,
It's like, I'll call you when I get there.
Yeah.
exactly.
I'll call
Page
you.
me.
If
You
you
gotta
need
page
me.
Meet me.
Yeah, if you need me, I'll see you.
Yeah, exactly.
I really like that. I think that is important to do that sometimes. It's amazing. Sometimes, like, I know when I need to do kind of one of these detoxes and stop going on social, when I find myself just automatically getting out my phone and clicking Instagram.
Yeah.
I'm like, what am I doing? I'm not even looking for anything. I'm just looking to like pass the time.
Right.
I have a rule for myself that I'd encourage everybody to do. If I'm at lunch with somebody or at dinner at a restaurant and they get up to, it doesn't matter, go to the bathroom, wherever, I don't let myself get on my phone. I just sit there.
Yeah.
And I just sit and I just observe and look around. And sometimes people will notice that. And they're like, what's going on?
Why is he looking around?
Because if you observe people and watch people, or even yourself, the second that person steps up and you're by yourself,
Yeah.
you go to your phone.
Exactly.
It's like you can't sit in silence. Like the only time you're silent is when you're unconscious at night for 8 hours.
That's what I'm saying.
No, it's so
So,
sad when you think about
It's
it.
a good little thing of like, or like a walk. So yesterday I took a long walk and no headphones, no music, no podcast, just silent.
Yeah.
Just walk. And it's fantastic.
Yeah.
It's really nice.
It's hard.
It's hard. It's hard
It's
to
hard.
get yourself out. And it's a little uneasy at
Yeah.
first. Like there's kind of this weird, like I need a cigarette type of thing.
Right.
Like a nicotine need, or like I'm missing something here, but I don't know what it is.
Like even when you're sitting at the doctor's office too, or, just sitting like in the waiting room, the first thing I do is get on my phone.
Yep.
Even if I'm not even
Yeah.
looking at anything, just scrolling, like you said, just mindlessly.
Yep.
I mean, and it's almost like I just have to do it,
I did it the other day getting
Dare I say addiction.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
I did it the other day getting the COVID test. I went and sat in the waiting room, and it took me probably 15, 20 minutes till they called me back. Didn't look at my phone one time.
Really?
I just sat there. And I just like listened and like watched people walk in, and like there was a mom that was like playing with her little baby, and I'm just like kind of, just like present. That like right now I remember every single part of that room.
Yeah.
Anytime, like I guarantee you, if I would have been on my phone that whole time, I wouldn't remember anything about that scenario. Even if I saw it, I'm not paying attention to it. But it's crazy because it's like there's human beings here.
Right.
Even though I don't know them, I'm still observing like the human interaction here. But I'm trying to communicate with people that I know that are on the other side of this piece of metal.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just it's interesting when you become aware of yourself
Yeah.
that you do that.
Well, and it almost kind of brings up like a safety factor too, because you said, now I know everything about that room.
Yeah.
And it's like so many of us are unaware of, if someone's driving behind you for the last hour or mile or whatever, or, someone may be stalking you in the grocery store.
Yep.
But we're even in the grocery store, we're on our phones, so it's really important sometimes to disconnect and really be aware of your surroundings, which I've tried to get better at.
and
Like
pay
what's
attention.
happening.
Like
Yeah.
pay attention to. I tell my sister this a lot because she's now a sophomore in college, and it's like, don't go places just walking on your phone,
Yeah.
because you can be so oblivious to
Right.
like what's going on. Like you said, who's behind me, who's watching me, like what's happening, like where am I even walking?
Yeah.
Parking stone. Like
Yeah.
Well, and also those moments where you're not doing anything and you're kind of just in the moment, that's when ideas come to you.
oh yeah,
They don't come to you when you're constantly, okay, phone to music to
yep,
Netflix to eating to all these different things,
Yeah.
and then you're asleep. There's not really a time for those ideas to come to you, or those realizations. So that's
Yeah.
one of the main reasons that I like to have those periods where it's just like, I'm not gonna do anything, I'm not gonna think about anything, I'm just gonna kind of be, and all of a sudden I'll just start getting these ideas, and
yep.
So
It's
true.
real. Do you ever drive with nothing, just no music, just silence, just drive?
I'm doing that this week.
Are you?
Yeah.
all week because of your dopamine fast.
I'm gonna call you when you're driving. Just talk up a storm for 20 minutes.
Page me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do that from time to time.
It's good. Give your head a break.
Yeah.
It's constantly, as soon as you're up, it's like go go go
I
go
know.
go.
Yeah. A lot of noise.
Yeah.
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 A lot of noise.
I need to look up how to do a dopamine fast when you work in social, because
Yeah, it's
feel like it'd
difficult.
be
It's
very
difficult.
hard.
Well, I mean, the main thing with doing it on social is, and it's not easy, but it's the whole idea of, if I'm gonna go on the social platform,
right.
I have an exact reason why I'm going on here, and I know, like, for instance, Tim Ferriss, he posts on social, but he doesn't interact on social. He's
Yeah.
not on social.
Right.
And so he literally uses the social platforms as just to post stuff.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, are you a creator or are you a consumer?
Yeah.
You get to choose, and there's nothing wrong with either. But if you want to create content, make that your focus and stop consuming it.
Yeah.
You do have to walk a fine line, because like there's like with my thing of not watching the news anymore, right? Like did amazing things for me and my mood. But like in the world of social or like running a business, like I have to know some things.
Right.
Yeah.
Like I have to be, I mean, if there's changes to some kind of Apple program or something and I don't know about it, like that's a huge problem.
Right.
So there is definitely an intentionality in like, why am I watching this? Why am I doing it?
You have to be creating more than you're consuming. 'Cause
There
if
you
you're
go.
Consuming
That's
more,
a great way to say it.
then it's consuming you, and then you're not creating.
Creating more than you're consuming. What do you think the ratio is? I think it's probably 4-1.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say 80-20.
Yeah.
It should be. And like you just said, the magic word, intention. It all comes back to intention with any of these practices. Like, it's I'm the big proponent of I ain't turning on a TV.
Yeah.
But I just, if something is important enough, I'll find
It'll
out
find
about
its
it.
way.
Right. Exactly.
But I'm not going to just mindlessly just turn on the TV and have it playing in the background on the news channel.
Yep.
My mom used to work at this place, and she was like at the front desk, and they would have the CNN and stuff
Behind her
playing
head.
in the room, behind her head,
Yeah.
the entire day. And it's like, it gets to the point where even if you're not paying attention to it, it's going in
Yep.
your subconscious. And
Oh, yeah.
she was like, I would just come home, I'd be in a bad mood, I don't know why,
Yeah.
Mentally
It's
drained.
because all day it's like
all that stuff.
death,
Yeah.
Exactly.
destruction.
Fear, yeah, it weighs on you.
Have
Yeah.
y'all ever seen? I feel like there's been so many variations of this experiment done, but it's kind of like you take a plant and like you say
Yeah.
negative things to it all day long, and then you take another plant and you say nice things to it, and like a month later, this one's wilting and this one's thriving.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, kind of
I
same
have
thing.
seen that.
Yeah. Same
I had a
thing
friend
with
that
what we do.
my roommate did that in college with an apple.
Really?
Oh
With
my
an
gosh.
apple? What happened?
It was so ridiculous.
Oh no. Or they're just in the corner like, you're such a beautiful apple.
Yeah, he would like at the end of the day, he would come home and he cut the. Well, here was the problem: is he cut the apple. It was a bad experiment because he cut the apple in half. They were not living creatures.
I was about to say that's the thing is apples.
It has to be a living
aren't
creature. Like it's got to be like
live.
a plant or
Yeah,
something if you want
living.
to try that. But anyways, he cut the apple in half, and then he put one in a Tupperware thing in the living room of our dorm, and then he put one in his room. And so every day he'd come home, and for 10 minutes each, he'd sit and be like, "Oh, Apple, you're so beautiful. You're just amazing."
Oh my gosh.
And then he'd go to the other one, and it was so funny because he'd be like, "You stupid effing apple. I hate you. You're so dumb." It's from New York. Oh my gosh, it was so funny.
Oh my gosh.
But that
I
didn't
can't
work
even
'cause
imagine.
Both apples just rotted within like
wilted.
2
Yeah.
days.
Yeah.
Well, you can do it with rice too.
Really?
Rice?
Yeah, like white rice. Yeah, I've seen it
You
done.
can talk to it?
Listen, at the end of the day, it's
What kind
about
of? You're too grainy.
when it's everything's
You
like
taste horrible.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Give me
it's
gluten
everything's
allergies.
energy,
Yeah.
So it's like,
Oh my
it's
gosh.
like when someone criticizes you, you feel it,
Yeah.
right? It's like that you feel it like
Yeah.
right here, like in your stomach,
Right.
you know. And then when someone says something good about you, you feel that too.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
it's
Same thing
That's
with
what this
the
all things-
same thing with the
Yeah.
rice.
yeah.
Makes me want to go home and water my plants because
Yeah.
they are dying right now.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. Not because I talked poorly to them, but
Talking bad to
because
your
I haven't,
plants?
I haven't
Yeah.
watered them.
Well, that helps too.
That helps too.
Life, yeah.
You do have to water.
Yeah.
You
At
gotta-
some point.
you got to feed.
You
I
can't just
know.
talk to them.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, that's so funny.
Yeah.
How long have we been going?
About an hour.
Cool.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else we want to cover? This has been a good one. I've liked
Yeah.
all of this content.
Yeah.
This is
Me
fun.
too.
Yeah, it's a good
Kinda
catch
going.
up. Like we said, just a lot of stuff going on with the app right now, and growing our team,
Oh.
growing our sales team too. So
Yep.
Up and away.
Yep.
Growing our sales team. If you guys know of any sales people, let me know because next month we'll want to bring on some more.
Yep.
2 a month. And
We can do
then
it.
we go to the next city.
Have
Austin.
we mapped that out?
Well, I don't know yet. It's either going to be a major city in Texas
Mm-hmm.
or Phoenix. I really want to go to Phoenix.
Mm.
Yeah.
Just because I know that market really well,
Yeah.
and there's
Yeah.
a ton of new business there, and I know all the salespeople there, and I know I can.
So it kind of can like be a plug and play.
It's a plug and play. It's
Yeah.
not a totally new discovery.
Mhm.
It's like I know that place well.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
anyways, we'll see. We'll see what happens. See where we go.
Exciting things
Yeah.
to come.
Where are you going on your honeymoon again? I'm sorry. You told me, but it's changed many times.
Yeah. I think we're on our like 6th destination now.
Eesh.
But so far it's Croatia.
That's right. It's Croatia now.
Yes.
It was Thailand.
It was Thailand. And we were
Hanging out
very
with the
brokenhearted.
croats.
The croats?
The
Yeah.
crustaceans.
Oh, God. That's funny. Yeah, when we went to book our flights and we saw the news, I'll just keep it ambiguous. But we just sat there in silence for like 10 minutes. Like,
Really?
Didn't even know what to do or what to say because we already booked our hotel. And then like 2 days later, we were booking our flight. And you know, whenever you start booking a trip, you envision yourself there and you start planning out the things you're going to do and you start getting really excited. And then we go to book the flight and we're like, oh no.
Couldn't
So,
do it.
Yeah. So Croatia it is.
Croatia. Well,
For
hey,
now.
I hear good things.
Yeah.
I hear good things about Croatia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do. It's very nice.
So we'll see.
It'll all work out.
It'll work out.
Yeah.
It'll work out for a perfect reason.
Yeah. I'm just going with the flow at this point.
That's what you got to
Yep.
do.
Yeah.
It'll be a great honeymoon.
Yeah. Regardless
Yeah.
of where we are.
Oh, yeah.
So.
All right, guys. Well, thanks for tuning in to Hiring Talk or
Office hours.
Office
you two
hours.
commandeering this
yeah,
podcast.
there you go. Yeah, check out the Hired Up podcast on YouTube as well.
Yep. That's all I've got. Thank you everybody for listening and growing with us, and thank you guys. Great job. We're entering a new level here, so
Yep.
We are.
Level up.
Yep. All right, everybody. We'll see you next time.